What is going down, everyone? I know I have a guitar amp, no controller. I have a guitar right here. And if you watched the last episode, you learned how to make a truss rod even. This thing is singing like a bird because I started the intonation process. And today's episode is going to be all about intonation and making those pretty harmonics go from 12 to 12 through your nice chromatic scales. So one of the big issues that you'll run into, and you'll know that your guitar is out of intonation by simply just go ahead and hit your normal E, get it in tune. You have all the other strings directly in tune for your tuning, and this works for any tuning. It does not matter. All you need is a chromatic tuner in order to actually physically do it. But what we're going to be doing, my name is Mac, and your MacGyver 7 channel, is some awesome music stuff. So first and foremost, once you get that started, to test if it is and out of there, you're going to need that tuner because you're going to see, A, it's perfect, and then you're going to go all the way up to the 12th fret, applying about 3 fingers like so, just putting down a nice little pressure, almost like you're applying like a capo. You can do it with 2, but personally I like it with 3, and then you're just going to pluck that sound. You are to replicate the same exact note. If it is sharp, well, there's an issue. If it's flat, there's an issue because that means while you're climbing up, you're getting out of tune. And you don't want that. As a guitarist, you want to stay in tune and kick ass. And that's what I'm going to help you do. So first and foremost, you're going to need to get acquainted with your saddle. I left one directly out. You can see that I've done some nice intonation work already, leaving the E1 out of it. So once you figure out if it's sharp or flat, there's going to be a few different things. What you're going to be doing is applying the length and shortening of, depending on where it's at, of that saddle. So for instance, if it is sharp, you're going to increase the length of that by making the saddle piece right over here go down. If it's flat, you're going to do the opposite. You're going to go up and shorten the string. You're going to continue to do that. Now, as you loosen it and let it go up, say for instance it's flat, your string will become loosened. So you'll have to tighten up, retune it in order to do it. If you're doing the opposite, your string will become tightened. So make sure you don't do a lot, just take a little increment. You'll hear it go up, untune it, go back to the E, then go right back to your E again, and I'm going to show you a direct portion by fixing this last string, and we're going to have a fully intonated guitar. Now there are some pretty cool tricks when it comes down to locking this in. Now that we've finally jumped into the guitar world, we can see our saddle a little bit. Now one of the cool things is with your tuner, you can see right here that it's going to go ahead and go to the E. We need to bring this up a little bit, and this is just our number 1. There goes our green, and since I've already intonated this, it should pop up right around that situation of green. There we are, perfect. And that's just a tiny bit. Sometimes you'll have to go back and forth as the saddle starts to readjust. The string is normally for a nice arch. So what you're doing is you're playing it, it's bringing it down, it's settling, so you may have to go back and do it again. Multiple times, it's almost like exactly like a seesaw. You're gonna keep going back and forth about 2 passes, give or take. So since I've gotten all these 5 already intonated in there, this is our main issue right now. So right now we're gonna go ahead and bring this up. That is just a little bit flat. We're gonna bring it up just a tiny bit more. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. There's a tiny bit down. You want to let it ring. That's one of the things about with intonation is just let it sustain that note. You want it to hold it on there. If it goes a little bit down, bring it. It has to be perfect tuning from the bottom in order to make this. And you see how that's sharp? That's a sharp situation. So let's go ahead and get our handy dandy tool. With the tool, we're going to go ahead and one last time before we adjust, just to make sure. Measure twice, cut once in that situation. So now we're going to go ahead and remember, since it's sharp, we're going to want to bring it down, go south. You're going to increase that length, but listen to how it continues to go up. Your normal note will start to increase as the string starts to increase in length. So we're going to go ahead and bring that down. Since it's gone up to an F, we're going to bring it down to its native E. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and test this. Look at that, it got a little bit better. So we need to bring it in just a little bit more. And you'll have to continue to rinse and repeat this on the saddle. So it can go up that high. Nice, nice, nice. So now that one, we just need to back off just a little bit. But at the same time, always make sure to double check Ah, see, it was a little bit flat by itself native, so I would have intonated something wrong at that point in time. Ah, it's still a little bit flat and a little sharp, but it's favoring sharp, so we need to increase it just a little bit. And remember, you do need to play the string every so often in order to make that arch angle that's forming if you are going from a sharp, because it's going to increase and it's normally curved. Almost there. Just a smidge more. And I think we got this in the bag. Now, normally with intonation, you're probably going to spend about, give or take, an hour, maybe a little less, depending on it, because once you do one string, you're going to want to check the partner string right next to it. Sometimes as the saddles go down, tensions start to settle into it. You'll just have to adjust it just a little bit more. So I would like to recommend at least 2 passes from E to E until you start syncing these notes. I think we got it. I think this is on. All right. Now see, it's still registering a little bit sharp and it's almost there. Personally myself, I would much rather just bring it up a little bit more and back it off if I'm wrong. So let's go ahead and pop back in once I get this done. Voila, success. So you can hit a nice key chord all the way on the top now. Sounds really good. So, what we learned from this is how to intonate a guitar. If you have any questions, definitely leave a comment down below. Throughout my years, I've worked in a guitar store probably for almost a decade of my life, so I picked up a lot on how-tos with these situations, which I'll be putting out more for people that are playing instruments. I think it's kind of cool. You should do it. Express your soul. Feelings can come from it. It's actually kind of cool. Music's our feeling, basically. But one of the things that I would recommend is definitely make sure you're going back and forth on top of there, because once I adjusted this and I got this perfect, what ended up happening was the B came out a little bit, and then I had to just kind of go back and forth, and then eventually it was all good. So you just want to make sure. It's that simple. So everyone, have a very nice day. If you're new to the network, you can always like, share, and subscribe. Absolutely free. Helps me out as a creator. And if you do today, who knows? Maybe you'll become an uber rock star. You should totally do it. See what happens. Leave a comment if you do. I'd be like, holy crap, I teach you how to, intonate a guitar. And now you're like super uber famous. That's awesome. All right, everyone. All power to you. See you in the future.